I don't think you can get this information online, guys. So one of the other reasons to come for such chats and such series. But great, thank you.
I must say that I'm also very, very impressed with what Suresh is doing.
Firstly, I wanted to ask, why redBus? Like, how did the name come? What was the thought behind the name?
I happened to miss a bus, and then as I just wanted to fix it, like you fix a tape recorder, like you fix something, right? So I wanted to fix that thing. In fact, we are accidental entrepreneurs. I never thought we would start a business.
A real Tom Cruise, are you buying everything for your children, father, mother? Wow.
My manager was telling me, oh, bus operators are all rowdies. Like more than half of the agents will insult you. And you would not have taken an insult.
Okay, idli or dosa?
Dosa.
Dosa? Bangalore sambar or Chennai sambar?
Bangalore.
I'm hoping it'll be a great session, and it's also my first fireside chat, so
Okay.
I'm kind of excited. First of all, thank you so much for coming.
Thanks, Aravind.
I'm actually, like all of us, I'm a redBus user, at least I was, and I just want to start with the first time I used redBus. So it was, I think, 2011. I was taking a bus from Chennai to Bangalore. And I'd actually gone to the Coimbatore bus stand at that time, and we were trying to get a ticket to Bangalore, and we were doing the regular process, and my mother was kind of frantic, and my father was not there. He was in Bangalore, so we were going to see him, and he was apparently too busy to come and pick us up, like always. So we were actually told that, there is no ticket, so you got to get home. So and I was trying to save the day, and I saw this redBus message in Google. I was just searching, is there an online bus? And the first thing popped up was redBus. And instantly I had downloaded the app, I did the service, I paid the money, and suddenly randomly the ticket arrived, and I found the bus, I got in. It was like the first time, it was a seamless experience to do a bus trip. And then he came and picked us up near, I think it was HSR or something like that. So that is my first memory. And I got brownie points from my mother to do this. So this was my experience. So first of all, thank you so much for such a wonderful, company that you've built and that we can all be proud of. So I'm going to start, and we're going to go here and there. I don't really have an agenda. I'm just going to ask things, because me being a founder myself, I like to really hear from your words what it took to build this. Before we get into redBus, just some basic fun questions. So, life at BITS Pilani. How was it as a college student? What was 21-year-old funny thinking about at BITS?
Okay. So, firstly, thank you so much. I thought it's a weekday. And I was here only for a day, and Suresh had told me that whenever I'm here, I should do a talk. I said, I've been an entrepreneur many, many years ago. I don't know how relevant it will be. He said, no, you must come and talk. And I said, okay, I'm here today. Let's give it a try. And I'm like really surprised that there was so much interest in an old story. Now, in the next 1 hour, I think I have to make all your time worth it. So I'll try to pull out as much as possible from my experience so that it will be useful to you. But I must say that I'm also very, very impressed with what Suresh is doing, right? With MudhalVC and Patra, if I got them. Yeah, it's really, really impressive. I mean, what he's doing. I say that because after I sold my company, one of the things I did was I tried to do what Suresh did full time. Right? Suresh is doing it part time. He's running his company and also doing all these other initiatives. Briefly, after I sold my company, I worked for the government of Telangana, which is my state. And there my job was to do what Suresh is doing, to foster this wave of entrepreneurship across Telangana. That was my job. I was given the designation of Chief Innovation Officer. I was given a nice office, government budget, car, everything, and they said, just do what Suresh is doing, right? So I had to go across the state and then encourage people to become entrepreneurs. And from that context, right? I can very confidently say that what Suresh has accomplished as a part-time job is really, really impressive, Suresh. Yeah, great job. Yeah, so coming back to this, right? I mean, what was it at BITS Pilani? I went to BITS Pilani, and when I went to BITS Pilani, it was a crazy thing. My father is a farmer. I mean, that was the first time I was actually moving out of Telangana.
Okay.
Right? I mean, then it was Andhra
Andhra
Pradesh.
Pradesh.
So that's the first time I was moving out of the state, and I suddenly went to Rajasthan, and that too it was crazy because somebody passed away in our family, so none of my family members came.
Oh.
So there's somebody else who was going to from my town. Somebody has also got admission into BITS Pilani, so his father was dropping him. So my family sent me with them. So and my family never came to BITS actually. For 4 years I was there. My mom never visited.
Oh, really?
She's telling me now that once she wants to go and see BITS, I should take her there. So that was how BITS started. So when I landed there, it was all very different. That's the first time I went out of the state. That's the first time I was seeing people from other states, right, in one place, and people are talking English. I didn't know much English. Thankfully, I found good friends who actually corrected me. They were taking spoken English lessons.
Oh.
Every time I would say something, they would correct me, and that's how I learned English.
Wow.
Right? And not just that, but BITS is also a very free ecosystem. I mean, it's really in the middle of a desert. There's nothing else around it, and the students are given a lot of freedom. So you run your mess, you run your hostel. There's a lot of leadership positions that are there at BITS. So I got into DOPI. DOPI is the Department of Photography. And all my 4 years, I spent most of my time in DOPI. Okay. In the first year, you become a volunteer. Second year, you become a team lead. Then then you become the head. I also became the head of the Department of Photography in my third year. But I must say that I mean, there are things that I learned as a part of DOPI that came handy when I was running redBus. Because one of the things is it's Department of Photography. So what we do is for all the college fests, we go around the campus with camera. And if anybody wants a picture, during those days, there was no iPhone, nothing, right? I mean, people want pictures in college. We used to go around with the film roll camera. You go there, click their snap, take their ID number, and then develop that snap and send it to their rooms, and then collect money. Oh. So that was what Department of Photography was supposed to do.
Okay.
In the first year, you're just doing detailing. It's like, okay, somebody click the snap, you just go there and take their room number or ID number and etc. And the second yearites are the ones who are clicking the snaps, and the third yearites are sitting inside it, etc. But so that was what we had to do at DOPI. So when I became the coord, right, my big job was like, how do you get these 120 people from these 4 years to come and work for you? Especially after college fest, we have exams. And our work starts mostly after college fest because you're clicking snaps during the fest. And after the fest is when you develop the photos and then you distribute, collect money and etc. So a lot of work is there after the fest, right? And as a coord, I had to deliver all those photographs and get money. That was my job. I also had exams, and all my DOPIites had exams. So my big job was, how do you get them encouraged, motivated to come and do this when they have exams? So I went to my college seniors, and then they really kind of helped me. They said, hey, you don't have to talk to all the 120 people to get them to come and work for you. One thing they told me, it's really helped me during my redBus also. He said, hey, people are organized into groups, right? These 120 people are organized into, let's say, maybe 10 groups. For every informal group, there is a leader, right? All that you have to do is just influence those 10 people. And then these 120 people are with you. Are you all with me?
Yeah.
And that was like a big eye-opener to me. Like, I don't have to talk to the 120 people if I have to get something done, right? Every gang has a gang leader, right? Who can influence their 10 people. So you just have to somehow influence those 10 people. Suddenly your job becomes 1/10. From 120 people, it's just 10 people that you have to talk to. And these are not 10 managers. These are 10 people who have those their authority, their power, irrespective of where they are in the hierarchy, right? This could be a volunteer. Everybody listens to them because he or she is a cool person, and everybody wants to be like that. So many of my leadership lessons came informally before I started the company, thanks to BITS.
Yeah.
Right, and you can just apply them here.
Exactly. I mean, that's really why I wanted to ask this question, because it's for the audience really, because a lot of times founders subconsciously do a lot of things that are indirectly involving in their business and in their entrepreneurial journey, and most of which start from college. So, I mean, one of the question was entrepreneurship in the pipeline, and I think somewhere subconsciously you always had it.
No, I in fact, we are accidental entrepreneurs. I never thought we would start a business.
Mm-hmm.
I was a very passionate electronics guy.
Engineer.
Like all electronics guy. Like from 7th standard onwards, I would open up the tape recorder, see what's inside and etc. and all that. Very, very passionate about electronics. So I did electronics engineering, and I got into Texas Instruments, where my job was to make microchips. And that was like the biggest, I was living my dream. I was very happy. I never thought of entrepreneurship, and entrepreneurship was not there in 2005.
Yeah.
Not as much as it is today.
Yeah.
I happened to miss a bus, and then as I just wanted to fix it, like you fix a tape recorder, like you fix something, right? So I wanted to fix that thing. In fact, we started it as a non-profit.
Oh, really?
Because during that time, 2005, right? During that time, Linux was big. Everything, open source was a big phenomena. Things were becoming, like, the cool thing to do was to uninstall Windows and install Linux, right? I mean, in college or during
I've done that also.
So that was a cool thing to do.
Yeah.
So we started redBus actually as an open source solution. We said, hey, let's fix this problem of not getting bus ticket. Let's write a software and put it out there. When bus operators use it, all of us benefit because we have access to inventory. So that's how it
So accidental entrepreneur.
Yeah. So entrepreneurship was never in the
pipeline.
In the plan.
Okay. Yeah. So I mean, I wanted you to talk a little more about the Diwali story, because for the benefit of the audience, just give us one insight that really there was like, this is the pain point, and hence I want to sit on this and
solve. So the
it.
pain point was personal. How many of you know why redBus is started? So that I don't repeat, or very few people know.
Yeah, exactly
okay.
where I wanted
Sure,
to.
so great. Okay, so Diwali of 2005, like I said, I was very happy doing my microchips, designing microchips at Texas Instruments in Bangalore. My parents were in Hyderabad. And now I've come very close to Hyderabad, right? From Rajasthan. I studied in Rajasthan, then came on a job, so it's very close to Hyderabad. So I used to take buses frequently. I mean, just every alternate weekend, I used to take a bus, go to my hometown from Bangalore. And every time I wanted a ticket, my agent could get me a seat. I just called the agent, and agent could get me a seat. But during Diwali of 2005, when I called my agent, he said there were no seats. In fact, I went to his office to get a ticket to Hyderabad. When I went there, he said he made a few phone calls. The modus operandi then, before it was computerized, was if you go to an agent's office, agent picks up a phone, calls the operator. He knows like 4 or 5 operators who run buses from Bangalore to Hyderabad. He calls the first operator and asks him if he has any seats. If he has a seat, and the way the bus operator looks at the seats is he would have a book for each bus and a page for each day. And in that page, he would make like 40 boxes. Each box is a seat. So if you want a seat for 12th, let's say October, he will go to the October book, go to the 12th page, and then see which boxes are not sold. If the seat number 12 is not sold, then he tells the agent saying, hey, seat number 12 is available for that 12th October, right? So that is how the ticketing was done. Every time you go to an agent calls the bus operator and finds out which seat he has. If the first operator doesn't have a seat, he'll call the second operator. And the second operator also goes to that October book, 12th page, and sees if there is a seat. If it's not there, he tells him so. So during Diwali of 2005, when I went to my agent, he called up the first operator, asked him for a seat. He didn't have a seat. Then he called the second operator. He didn't have a seat. Then he called the third operator and the fourth operator. None of them had a seat because Diwali is like overbooked, right? And he told me that there are no seats. And just when I was leaving his office, like his shop, he told me that maybe another agent could get me a seat, right? And that intrigued me. Like, if you are an agent, right, you should know whether or not there is any seat between Bangalore to Hyderabad. Why is that you are asking me to go to your competitor? Are you all with me?
Yeah.
Right? But anyway, I wanted that seat desperately, so I went to this second agent. The second agent also made like 2-3 phone calls to different operators and told me there are no seats. Then I got curious and I went to the third agent and the fourth agent. All of them made like 3-4 phone calls and told me there are no seats. And then I went back to my room. We were all bachelors, staying in sharing a flat and all. So I went to my room. Many of my roommates had gone home because it was Diwali long weekend. I was there alone. Next day when I woke up, it was a holiday, nothing to do, and I was feeling guilty. I was feeling guilty because I knew there were at least 30 bus operators who would run buses from Bangalore to Hyderabad, right? And even if these 3-4 agents called mutually exclusive bus operators, right, they would have called like 12 operators between them, right? Which means there are another 12-15 bus operators who nobody called. Then I thought, if any of them had a seat which went vacant from Bangalore to Hyderabad, it was lost to that bus operator because he would burn the same amount of fuel, pay the same salary to the driver, right? But go with one seat less. And it was lost to these 3-4 agents that I went to because they had a customer in front of them but just didn't know which operator to call. And it was a loss to a customer like me because I desperately needed that seat but just didn't know which operator had a seat, right? And then I thought all of us, the 3 of us, are losing out because information about bus seats was not seamlessly available to
Customers.
all of us, or even the agents.
Even the agents,
right?
yeah.
Then the immediate answer was, hey, like, why can't you like computerize it? Why can't there be a web page where I put Bangalore, Chennai or whatever date, and then all the bus operators come up on that page and I can see which operator has a seat, which operator doesn't have a seat, and then call only the operator who has a seat, right? So that was a solution that came to my mind. And then I thought nobody is losing out. Everybody is winning. The bus operator is winning because he'll get large distribution. Agent is winning because he gets access to large number of bus operators. And I will benefit because I get access to the seat. So I thought it was a great solution, win-win-win. And but then we didn't think of it as a startup. We thought, okay, let's create a open source solution and give it to the bus operators and the agents. When all of them use it, it'll be great, right? So that's how we started. That's how we started the
redBus.
yeah, that's how we started.
Great. So you're saying like, entrepreneurship was not in the pipeline. So when you had this idea and you really wanted to go about it, like, did you tell your family, your friends, your co-founders? What did they say? Because it's a very unsexy business if you think about it. And in 2005 or 6, I think that's when you sort of started. The internet was not what it is today.
Yeah.
And you're building almost like a marketplace.
Yeah.
And it's a standard chicken and egg problem, which all of us, even today, I'm sure the founders here are building. So what was the conviction and why still do it after all that thought?
Yeah, so that's a great question. So, see, the first thing is, it was just excitement. Like, when you look at it, right, there is nothing to not believe that it won't work. Or at least, see, that's the confidence any entrepreneur should have when they're starting, right? I mean, they say entrepreneur has to be foolish, right? I mean, for all we know, it may be a wrong thing to do, but every cell in your body has to be convinced that, hey, it's a great thing to do, right? It will just work. And that was the state of mind that I had at that time, because I said, it should just work. Because airline ticket we book on internet, railway ticket we book on
internet.
IRCTC, and IRCTC has just started 2002, and I'm talking about 2005, just 3 years, right? So it just started. And I think that's why we also had the opportunity to do redBus, because right, we are not too late, not too early, kind of thing. So I was like fully convinced that it will work. And so we were 7 of us sharing a flat. So I wrote to all the 7 of my batchmates saying that, hey, I have this idea, I could not get a bus ticket, and then maybe we could solve it, and etc. So initially 7 of them jumped in saying, hey, we want to be like, let's solve it together.
Okay.
So 7 of us started, but in 3 months, 4 of the 7 left. Because that, right? I mean, it was very difficult. But the difficulty is, you go to, like, you're sitting here, you are happy, you have an idea. Now to execute it, what do you have to do? You have to go to that agent and you have to stand there and you have to ask him questions without him getting suspicious about you. Hey, how do you book tickets? What happens? You ask him 3 questions, he'll look at you and say, what are you, why are you, like, what are you doing, right? You should have the courage to, right? Or you should have the smarts to portray yourself as a student in some college doing some research or whatever, right? So that is tough.
Yeah.
To go and figure that out. And then you come back and create that software when you have a day job. 9 to 5 you go to office, come back and write that software, create that. That is tough. So all these things which are difficult, 4 people lost. People said, we're not doing it. And once you start doing, that's when the others will come and tell you, oh, it won't work. Oh, my manager was telling me, oh, bus operators are all rowdies. They are gundas. It is mafia. What are you doing? You're leaving this and going there. Right? So all negative things keep coming. And then if you have a weak heart, you will succumb to that. And 4 people left, so 3 of us continued.
Yeah. So, I mean, this is something that's very interesting to take note of as first-time founders. There's a huge travel between having a good idea and then making it into a product or a service. And most of us, like you said, when you start off, we have a lot of excitement and we are bright and we believe, how come no one's ever thought about it? And we think like it's all it has to do with the idea. And then translating an idea to an actual product and talking to customers and talking to the current industry, especially, I'm sure it would have been a very intimidating conversation when you went to the first agent. He's going to be like, oh, this guy is suspicious when something is going on. So I think that's something.
And the big thing is, like, more than half of the agents will insult you.
Yeah.
And you would not have taken an insult. Like, insult is, you try to go and ask him a question, he says, go. As if you're going there to beg. Right? And that insult will make you not go again.
Yeah.
Those are difficult.
Exactly.
Those are difficult times for an entrepreneur.
Yeah. So it's a very hard journey. So from an idea to a product, and I think a lot of founders have to realize that idea is one thing, but converting that into an actual product or service, it's a big journey. And then the next hard set of problems come in. So we'll get into that deeply. So with respect to redBus, firstly, I wanted to ask, why redBus? Like, how did the name come? What was the thought behind the name? Because it's a consumer product. And at that time, what was the story behind the name?
No, actually, like, I know we were crazy. So we thought, we were just like 21, 20 years old, didn't have anything about marketing, didn't know anything about marketing, brand and all. But one thing that we thought was that we should have a color in our brand name, because you just wear that color and people will think of you. Okay. Right? I mean, you just wear that color and then it becomes, we somehow thought that it will be easy.
Okay.
But then we also were a website. Our business was website, right? So we said, hey, the color we choose has to have easiest spelling, right? For example, if you call it yellow bus, right? Half the people will spell it as YLO, right? Or whatever, right? I mean, or you call it green, then it can also be misspelled as GRE, right? So we said, hey, what is the color which has the smallest spelling and cannot be misspelled? So that's how we went to red. But then bus was not our choice. Our first choice was line.
Red line.
Red line. Because, I studied in Pilani. In Delhi, all the local buses had white line, red line. They were called red line, green line, white line, etc. And also this ICICI Prudential ad used to be red line. So we said, every time that comes on TV, people think of red line. So that's how we thought of red line. Okay. But the domain name was booked by somebody.
Okay.
And we negotiated with the person, he didn't sell.
Oh.
So we said, okay, we'll call it redBus and started redBus. Yeah.
I mean, see, what an interesting story that went through, right? But I think maybe in hindsight, you're glad you didn't get the domain name, because for me, redBus is probably like, it's a no-brainer in terms of a name, and it's a household name right now. So
no, actually, just want to add to that.
We actually spend a lot of time in defining the
brand name
of our
So a lot of people who've attended the Idea Portray workshops, we spend like 40 minutes in that workshop in just the name. And some of the principles that we talk, which is like it has to be short, it has to be unique, it has to be a conversation starter. All these things kind of play into that, and it has to be relatable to the people. redBus is like so bloody. it's right there. Like you can't miss the redBus, man.
See, that's what they say, no? I mean, when you are working sincerely,
Yeah.
with the whole of your heart, right? The world conspires to help you, and that's what happened with us. We never thought it should be redBus, and right? It just happened.
It's truly great, great. So, I want to go a bit deeper into the journey. So, with redBus, some of the ways in which you started bringing in agents and operators, you had a thought of selling a ERP software to them, which is BOSS, your bus operator software system. And you also have Seat Seller. This is some of the information I got from ChatGPT. So let's, full disclosure, it's not like
all right.
Yeah, but the interesting thing was, it's very, very nice in terms of a strategy, but I want you to explain it deeper for the audience of what is the conviction when you're already building an consumer-facing software, to go to the operator and say, hey, here's another software, go build this, you can onboard the inventory. I'm sure you'd have had challenges. And I think initially they also said no. So you took that away and then you did something else. And then you came back and now that's, I guess, the standard inventory software is BOSS, which is from redBus for those who don't know. So walk us through that. What was running in your mind and how did that come out to be?
Yeah, so, I mean, you all know the problem statement that agents were calling the bus operators to find out information. We said, how can we make all that information available instantly, right? And for that information to be available, and this is dynamic information, right? What is true right now will not be true next second because some seats would have been sold, right? So this is like ever changing and real time and etc. So for that information to be accurate, we had to automate the bus industry. So even before we can sell seats on redBus, the first thing we had to do is to computerize the bus operator by giving them some kind of a ERP or
inventory,
something like that. Inventory management system.
Yeah.
So logically thinking.
Yeah.
So the first software that we created was the inventory management system, which we went to the bus operator and said, hey, use this software. And when you use this software, I mean, for us, we'd get access to their inventory, but for them, there had to be a reason why they had to use, right? So we told them, hey, when you use this software, your operations become seamless. It becomes
easier to track,
leakages will go for a toss, will reduce and etc. and all that. We tried selling that, giving that software, selling that story. For 3 months, we didn't have a single bus operator take it. Not a single bus operator, right? Every time we went there, they told us some story. They said, yeah, it is good, but not now, later, this, that, this. So 3 months we had the software ready, but we didn't have even a single customer. And we just didn't know what to do. We thought it is the end of it, because if operator doesn't use the software, there's no way we can sell on internet or we can give it to agent, inventory, right? And that's when we came across a program called TIE EAP. The Indus entrepreneurs had a similar program, like you have the workshop, idea workshop and etc. Like that, they had a event where they said, hey, if you have an idea and you don't know what to do, you come to us and we'll mentor you. So we were anyway not making any progress, so we went to TIE and we applied there and we got through the cohort and we got selected and etc. and all. And there we got mentors, and those mentors understood our problem and they said, hey, like, if you're not making any progress, they also told us why we are not making progress. They said there is resistance to change, people don't want to change, and you are asking them to buy computers, use computers and etc. It won't happen.
So at that point, they didn't even have computers.
No,
not even.
They didn't have computers.
So it's huge friction, right?
It is a huge friction. It is a crazy time. I'm talking about a time when there is no Android phone.
Yeah.
There's no iPhone. YouTube had just then started, right?
I can't imagine the time
Facebook, Orkut just then started. MySpace became like, MySpace was
a thing. Yeah.
Facebook. So that is the time. There was no Instagram. There is none of these things. There was no broadband. There was no phone. There was no internet on phone, right? I mean, that was a time. and there was no reliable electricity.
Oh.
Yeah. So the bus operators would question us saying that, oh, you're asking us to computerize everything. I'll put everything in that, move away from my book, and the power goes off, and my bus had to depart. Like, how will my bus depart? Who will they pick up? Where will they pick up?
Yeah.
Right? They said we can't computerize.
Okay.
So that was the time. So our mentor said, okay, fine, you're not making any progress here. They said, go back to the bus operators and ask them what they really want. Because anyway, you're not making any progress. At that point in time, thankfully, we heeded to their suggestion. Because we would have very well said, that is what we've been doing all this while. Now. That's how we came up with the software. And you're asking us to go and ask the bus operator again what they want, right? But somehow we said, okay, fine, we are not making any progress. Let's just go back and ask the bus operators what they really want. So we went back to the bus operators and said, okay, don't take our software. What do you want? Like what problem do you have in your business, right? We don't have any problem. If you can get us more customers, we'll buy another bus, right? That is what they said. And that was the insight. And that flashed, right? We came back to our mentors and said, they're saying they don't have any problem. They're only saying if we get them more customers, they will buy more buses and grow. The mentor said, you have to solve that problem because the bus operator has a problem of not getting customers. You have to get them customers. Just solve that problem, right? At that moment, right, that is our inflection point, right? At that moment, we dropped everything that we had. We had built that ERP or whatever inventory software for 6 months, right? And 3 months of the waiting or whatever, right? And we said, we'll drop everything. We'll somehow figure out how to get this bus operator a customer, right? We focused all our energy on that, but we couldn't get them a customer because customer will come onto our website. They will put Bangalore, Chennai, and what will they see? They can't see any inventory, right? Then we said, okay, fine. They can't see the seats, but every other information is static. Only the seats, number of seats is dynamic. But otherwise, that if I put Bangalore, Chennai, so-and-so date, right? The buses, every day that bus departs only at that time, right? It is a AC bus. It is by that travel. It has the same pickup point. So all other information was static. And that information also was not available to people. So we said, let's publish all the static information. And instead of book button, we put a request button. So people, instead of saying I book, they'll click on a request and it opens a form saying, okay, how many seats do you want? What's your phone number? I want 4 seats and this is my phone number. And once we get that information, we did the same thing like an agent. We pick up the phone, call the bus operator once, say, hey, you have this seat, you have this seat, take that seat, upload that seat, call back the customer and say, hey, the seat is now available, book. We did it manual and started giving customers to the bus operator, right? And once the bus operator started seeing that we were giving him customers, he said, okay, don't call me every time. I know you can sell 2 seats in my bus every day, right? So seat number 2 and 3 are yours. Right? So what we did is, then you upload, that is blocked for you. So you upload it onto your website. So the customer comes and says, okay, Bangalore, Chennai, 12th October, he'll see, oh, those 2 seats are available. He doesn't have to leave phone number. He can just go and book it then and there, right? So and then we were able to sell those 2 seats.
That's actually amazing.
Right? And then the bus operator said, hey, I know you will sell 2 seats, take 4 seats. 4 became 6, 6 became 8, and one fine day it became half of the bus. Right?
Wow.
You get on the bus, right? Left side is all ours, right side is all everybody else, right? And that was the time. It took 3 years. 3 years. 3 years. And some VCs rejected us also in those 3 years. Because they said it is, in front end it looks like it is computer, software and all that. Back end is all like Excel sheet, phone call. This is not.
It's like somebody sitting in the ATM and giving money.
On the other side, right? Counting and giving money. So it was like that.
How about the payment? How did you solve it?
Payment was payment gateway. Like after we get the seat, we upload it, call the customer and say, hey, seats are now available, go and book. It was through payment gateway only.
So that was there.
No. Only credit card. There was no UPI, there was no net banking. which means our market was so small.
So small.
People who had only credit card. And you know how much credit card used to charge us? The MDR or whatever? Take a guess. 2%. 7%. I think you know that timeline. They used to take 7%. And our commission was 10%. Credit card guy will make more money and we make 3%. Right? So that is how it was.
Yeah, but this is very, very interesting. I'm so glad you said it this way. See, for founders who are trying to build a perfect version one of their product, here is a story of redBus, one of the most successful consumer apps ever.
Funny in the back sitting and calling and booking your bus tickets. It's truly funny, in a large sense. And it's also about, like one of the people in the audience said, it took 3 years for them to actually arrive at a point where they said, okay, we have enough inventory right now. Let's go build the full stack. And I think entrepreneurs need to really learn first time to be scrappy and not worry about building full solutions and actually hit the market first and get customer feedback and then build on top of that.
Every agreement will have a termination clause, right? Every exclusive agreement, right? I mean, any agreement. And what any businessman wants is business and sales and etc. As long as you provide that, they will terminate any agreement, and that's within the legal this thing. If they terminate an agreement and come to you, right? He gave us confidence saying that focus on the right things. To focus on the wrong thing, which is like giving discounts or buying things and etc. He said it's a split-second decision. You don't need a lot of brains to make. I mean, that's how he mentored us, and we believed in that, and we continued to just sell. While all the inventory was getting cornered by competitors, we were only focusing on selling. So the bus operator can't give us the feed, but he can just block some seats and give us. And we were just selling and selling and selling. And the weak moment came, which is 2008 financial crisis.
Yeah.
Right? When that comes, a competitor who's burning a lot of money cannot raise money and is this thing, and you are actually selling and every sale you make some money.
Yeah.
Even if it's only 3%, you're making some money.
Yeah.
Right? And that critical decision, all your competitors get wiped off and all the business suddenly shifts to you because there's nobody else to take that business.
Wow.
Right?
Amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, that's another insight if you think about, once you figure out something that works, just keep doing that. That's really what it is, after a point. So I think once you started figuring out that sales was happening, you basically realized that there was some PMF. You kept doing the same thing again and again. So just a quick side note, do you remember the first bus that onboarded, the name of the bus?
Yeah. Why not? I know very much. Rajesh Travels. So he's the second, his dad started the business, and Mr. Rajesh he's our age. He just graduated from engineering. He just got into the business. And then with new energy, he wanted to computerize it. So it was just right for us.
The right energy.
We pitched to 40 people. Nobody was taking it.
Okay.
Here we found luck because it was like a next generation coming to business, and he somehow liked
the
what
vibe.
we were doing, and he said he wants to computerize it. That's how he gave us a chance.
That's great.
Yeah.
So from the first bus, what was the moment? I'm sure we covered it, but what was the moment you said, okay, we're on the right path. We just have to keep doing this? Was it the sales part, or which said, okay, now I'll go build the product again from scratch properly, and then I'll go build boss again and start selling it? When did that happen?
No. So I don't know if there was a point in time when we felt we were in the right path. So like all entrepreneurs, every day you don't know whether you're doing the right thing, whether it's the right thing or not. So we didn't even have a chance to think whether we're right or wrong. We just kept doing it, and it was creative. It was, I think you don't even have time to think. It's just keep doing it. It was never like we felt like, oh, we are done now. We are like arrived.
Okay.
Yeah, it was always doing.
That's
In
a
a
good
fast-growing business, right? There are always things which are falling apart. You're going and fixing. It just takes all your time.
Sure. So you were talking about 2008. I think we're coming over that. So you had to raise some money, because you realized it is, and it's the financial crisis time. And there were competitors, but you said, these things, but it was still very challenging and you had a lot of rejections. What was the vision that you had sold? to VCs, and how did that breakthrough happen?
Yeah. So there's a there's a funny story there
Sure.
when we had to pitch to the VC, right? During that time, Google was there, so we would Google everything. So I Googled saying, how do you go and pitch to a VC? Right? I mean, what should you do, and etc. And all the knowledge was that from Silicon Valley, because there was no VC here, and etc. Right? And then I read, then it said, you have to go like a businessman. You have to wear a coat, right? You have to wear shoe, formal, that, this, and etc. I said, wow, oh, I need to do all this because, VC has to be there. Then just when I thought, I know how to go and pitch and talk, you have to talk about 10-year vision, 20-year vision, that, whatever, right? I mean, I read all that and I said, oh, this is how I should do it, right? And once I formed that impression, then I casually continued my browsing.
Okay.
And I came across an article which is completely opposite it, right? It said you have to go in shorts. You have to just be very cool. You should just talk. I'm confused now. Should I go like this or should I go like that? What should I do? And both of them raised VC money as per whatever they've written. I was completely confused. Then I told myself, I'll just go the way I am, right? I usually wear a shirt, out shirt. I usually wear like a chappal, like a Telugu guy, right? And I'll just be myself. I'll just go and talk. I don't have a 5-year plan, so I won't talk about a 5-year plan. I'll just talk about what I have. And that really, really helped me. And from then onwards, every such meetings, right? I just go as myself.
Okay.
You just go, pour your heart out, speak the truth. Whatever happens, happens. Doesn't happen, doesn't happen. That's why many VCs rejected us also, saying, oh, you're so offline, you're this. One of the VCs, actually famous VCs, rejected us because, and he's an entrepreneur turned VC, right? And in our business model, we had zero marketing budget because we were idealists. We said if the product is good, people should buy. If it's solving people's problem, they should buy. So we will not spend on marketing, we will not spend on discount. So this VC said, everything is fine, but I think you're too naive. I don't want to invest because consumer brands cannot be built without marketing. I've built one internet business. He said that he's built an internet business and it takes marketing, and he cannot invest in somebody who just doesn't understand that concept, right? Like I said, but that is what we believe in. We don't want to do it because you just want to be yourself, right? So people rejected us. People who understood, they invested. But what happened as a result of that is everybody in our board were the people who were like us. We had the same values, right? We don't have somebody who believes that marketing should be done and we believe that marketing should not be done, right? We have people who believe that marketing should not be done and we are not doing marketing. So that, I think that really helped. Just being yourself, be honest. Business doesn't happen, it happens, if it happens, etc. So that's how we raise money.
Yeah.
And today, because I'm also part of a couple of funds on the other side of the table and etc. and all. So I can tell you from the other side of the table that whatever you may do, you may pitch whatever, etc. and all that doesn't count at all when the VC is doing analysis. The VC is doing his own due diligence or her own due diligence, figuring out whether the business works, doesn't work, and etc. What he's trying to get is whether you are authentic, they're seeing your energy and etc. So there's no need to talk about something that you're not comfortable with when you're talking to a VC.
So the takeaway is be honest, be yourself, and just like founder market fit, there is apparently VC founder fit, I guess.
There is everything and you fit, right? You and the business that you are in, you has to be a fit. You and the team that you have to be has to be in fit. You and everything has to be in that, because see, how do I say this? So, see, I think what we need to, what we need, or let me tell you another way, right? So I said I was working for Texas Instruments and I was having a great time. and I happened to miss a bus and then started redBus, right? So imagine if I were working in a company where I'm not, and there is nothing that I did at Texas Instruments helped me to do at redBus, because that was all about voltage, current, and I was breaking my head on how much voltage to give to this resistor to make that signal work and etc. and all. And here it's all about software. How do you write this database and .NET and etc. Nothing that I could take from that and use it here. For many people, they may say all that time was wasted. But I think the other way. All that was so useful for me to start redBus. And the reason it is useful is because I was having a great time doing what I'm doing at Texas Instruments. If we are not happy in our life right now, whatever it is, right? We may be like many of us, before we start a company, we are an employee. And in our employment, in our job, if we are not happy, there's no way we can start a company, right? So we have to always, I mean, that's the state of mind that we have to be when we start, and that's the state of the mind that we have to be when you're running the company, right? So that will happen only when you have all these other fits, right? You cannot have, like, only when you have you and a board fit, you and a people fit, you and the business fit, and etc. You are in that state of
Flow mostly, right?
state of happiness. Happiness is a delicious dish which has pinch of confidence in it, pinch of optimism in it, pinch of joy in it, and etc. So all those things make somebody happy, right? That confidence, that optimism won't come if you're not surrounded by all these things.
Sure.
And sometimes you have to cheat yourself to those things. I'll tell you about how we cheated ourselves, right? So we'd set a target. We'd say we have to do like 2,000 seats next week, right? If the whole company is like energized and they're cracking it and etc. Sometimes your run rate is so that you're not meeting the 2,000. And then there is energy that goes down. People say, it's impossible, yeah. Now though we can't do it. In the next 4 or 5 hours, how will we do 2,000? Right? Then we cheated ourselves. How? You go to how are they knowing how many seats we sold? Through some dashboard, right? So you go and put a multiplier there. your tech team, for every 1 seat sold, it will display 1.2 seats sold, right? So suddenly people will say, oh, something is happening and then we are selling more seats. So now it appears like close. We can do 2,000 seats, and suddenly energy comes back into the company, and then we get to the 2,000 seats and beyond. So that's how we cheat ourselves. So there are all these things that we did.
Wow.
To make
That's,
right, and things happen.
Yeah. I don't think you can get this information online, guys. So one of the other reasons to come for such chats and such series. But great, thank you. So going forward, I think there's a couple of questions about redBus, and then we have a lot more, and then I want to open the floor. Once you had gotten funding and you had to really scale the company, what was the biggest challenge in hiring and asking people to work with you? Because I mean, today we face it, and I'm sure in 2008, 2011 it was way harder. So how was it to build a world-class team? What was the challenge?
So I think, we always want people who are smarter than us in the team. And when you're an entrepreneur, you really, really, literally want it, right? When you are a manager, it's good to say, and better not to do it because you're not smart. Suresh will kill me for that. But in general, okay, you might miss out there. But in entrepreneurship, because success of the idea is utmost important to you above everything else, right? You want the smartest of the people to join you. And I have this strong belief that if a person who you're talking to is smarter than you, he or she can make out when you're saying the truth or when you're saying a lie. They can make out. I mean, I believe that they can make out. So I have the fear that I'll just be myself because, right, the other person can make out. So that really helped me. So I would go and say what is there and what I want to build, and if I have to pitch saying that we'll build a unicorn, then I have to internally think that how can it be a unicorn, I mean, every word before I say, I have to really, really believe in it. And that was my mantra. So if I think that it can't be a unicorn, then I'll sit and figure out how it can be a unicorn or how it can be a 100 crore company. And then I will have an authentic answer, and then which becomes very easy to convey. And once you really, like every cell of your body believes in it, right? It's so easy to convey. And it's easy for other person also to get it. They'll have 100 questions and you'll have answers for all the 100 questions because you have thought through that whole thing. And then it becomes very easy. And that, see, that builds all the other things. That builds trust. The person suddenly feels that, hey, he's trustworthy, what he's saying is this thing, and etc. and all that. That inspires people. All the other things happen that also people will just like you because you're sincerely, honestly trying to do something. And those are the things which really solve all my hiring problems, even hiring the VCs or hiring mentors, anybody, etc. But one thing I'll tell you is, one other belief that I also had is, my competitors, like I said, we were like 21 years old, and we had competitors who were like 40 years, much more experience in the travel industry, lot more money, and etc. and all that, and we had to compete with them. So I told myself that how are the ways that we can compete with them, because I lack the 20 years experience that they have, I lack the money and etc. and all. So one of the things I told ourselves is that we'll also work on Sundays. Let him take rest, I'll also work on Sundays and compensate for that. But another important thing that I told myself is that at any cost, I will not lose my people. Because it'll be like running on treadmill, right? Let's say we have a CMO. He learns how to do marketing, understands the whole industry, this and all. And once he leaves, you hire another person that's 3 months later, and the person comes and takes 6 months to learn, and you lost 9 months, right? We just could not afford to lose 9 months because we're competing with somebody who is far ahead of us. So I said, my mantra was, I will do anything possible not to lose my people, my senior management. So I lived to that. Like, I was a bachelor, so our product person, who is now a serial entrepreneur, very successful and all, he was our product head. He came from Bombay to Bangalore. And when he came, right, I shifted off into his house because my VC told me, hey, Bombay people, they don't live anywhere else. He'll come, but he'll leave. He'll go back to Bombay. So I actually literally lived with him, my boy, right? So his mom would make food for us. I slept there, all that thing, right? I mean, he of course encouraged me to be with him and etc. So do everything possible. But these are the easy things to do. The tough thing to do is letting your ego go. You have an idea, he has an idea, right? Now, what will retain him? Only if he can execute his idea. So you go there, you are so excited because you are also a creative guy. I mean, that's the reason you are an entrepreneur, right? This has to be like this, but the guy thinks that has to be something else. So you just go there and then just calm yourself down saying, no. Let it be that other way. So these are the difficult things to do to retain people, and it was hell to me. So much so that people said, you come to office, you don't say anything. Why are you even the CEO? Right? Because I was practicing saying that I'll go to the meetings, but I won't say anything. In the sense that I won't counter anybody. Let them do whatever they want to do. Let there be chaos, but they'll all converge together. I mean, those are some of the experiments that I did. But the thing is, I just didn't want to lose people, and I have not lost people. Once or twice when I lost people, then it was an experiment. There was one person that I lost, I dearly wanted. Now we are very good friends. But that gentleman had a problem. He's from IIT, he's from IIM. He did all the great things in his life. And he's such an impressive guy, but he shifted jobs every 2 years. He just, look at his CV, every 2 years he changed his job. When I was taking him, he told me this time will be different, that time something else happened, this happened, that happened, and etc. and all that. I would not usually hire such people who change jobs frequently, but this time I said, he's such an attractive guy, let me just take a chance. I took a chance, he joined us, we shared great relationship. Like I said, I kind of right? I mean, I do
stayed-
everything
you
possible.
stayed with him also?
Right? But then 2 years later, he left. Right? And after that, all his career now, every 2 years he changes jobs. Even now. I think people who stay in a job for 6 years or so, whatever, long duration, right? They would have gone through the difficulties. They know that they don't lose their heart when things don't go their way. They have the courage to deal with those things, and that is what I have seen. So people who stay for 6-7 years, they stay for 6-7 years because they go through the ups and downs. And this gentleman who left in 2 years, you know his reason, what his reason was to leave us? One fine day he came to me and said, hey, this business won't work, yeah. This is like crazy things are happening. It's like you are losing business. How will you make this money? That is some crazy things which is nothing new. We were in the same business, earning the same money, doing much better than 2 years ago. But this business, so such people, something happens to them and they can't manage that stress, right? They just leave. So people who are there for long, they are indeed made different. So that's how. I mean, so I would hire good talent, give them a lot of freedom, and don't want to lose them. That was my funda.
That's really great. I mean, there's a new talent retention for founders. Just become roommates with the person you want to, keep. So I wanted.
But don't marry.
Yeah, don't.
That'll get too much complexity. No, in general, actually, I've seen many of my friends who are wife and husband companies, and it's going through difficult situations. So,
The marriage or the company?
both. Because I think they don't have a break, na? Company is the same thing. You go back, it's the same thing. I don't know, whatever it is, it's just difficult.
That is true.
Yeah.
So, want to talk about marketing. I mean, you had shared that you had this philosophy that, if the product is great, it's going to sell itself. And I think that worked in your favor. So, could we say that word of mouth was your biggest way? Because actually, if I recall also, I've not seen major ads for it. I've actually seen your competitor ads. So, I'm just curious to hear your take on it. Like, what was the philosophy, especially after VC money? Because they're going to be like, where's my ad, man? I'm like, I want to tell that this is my company that I've invested in. So,
So I was actually feeling bad. You said 2011 when you started this conversation. You said 2011 you were in Coimbatore. And didn't know there was redBus. You were still trying to buy offline. By then we existed for almost 6 years, right? And I was thinking, my God, you are like this generation guy, and you didn't know. So that was how poor our marketing was in that way. But like you said, we grew through word of mouth. Mostly grew through word of mouth. And we grew through PR. That was much bigger thing. Actually, PR, one thing is we benefited out of it because entrepreneurship was taking off, and then we were like the first set of entrepreneurs, so people would write about us and etc. and all. But other thing also, you fuel it. The way we fueled it is journalists will have deadlines, right? They have to, newspaper has to be closed by I think 4-5 p.m. Afternoon, right? So and before 4 p.m. is their deadline. So whoever they call for whatever opinion, if they don't get, then they'll go to the next guy. That opinion will get published, right? So anytime if a journalist calls me, right, wherever I am, I will take that call. Because I know they're working on a deadline, and I know that if they mention that 2 lines of Phanindra Sama, CEO of redBus, said this about budget, right? I know 10 people reading it will say, oh, redBus, they will recollect it. It's free advertisement, right? So at any topic, every topic, I would just, if a journalist calls, right, I'll have all my journalist numbers saved, and if they call, I'll just pick up that call at any cost, wherever I am, right? That really fueled it, and it's a virtuous cycle. And the journalist also feels good because the journalist knows that they will get the line, they'll get the line, so they'll keep calling you because they also want their life to be easy. So that's one thing. And the second thing is, you also have to know their needs. Like, you tell the story, you tell some interesting insights that becomes a story for them, and etc. and all that. So if you think that way, you will come up with those ideas. So we really benefit out of PR. And second thing is word of mouth. So if you don't advertise, people will talk about you. Right?
Interesting.
So you won't come and tell me about something if you think that I already know about it. You will talk only when you think, hey, he might not know about it. right?
Yes.
So that's how the word spreads. So we said, okay, fine. We are not in a hurry, right? We have so much to do within our thing. Make the software better, make this better, make our process better. Let's worry about these things. If you have 10% extra bandwidth, let's go and fix that. Let's deliver such a good experience that people will talk about us. So people did talk about us, and the word of mouth picked up, and etc.
That's great. That's great.
So that's
So, at your peak, you were, I think, if data is right, you were doing 1 million tickets a month. Was that the number, roughly?
I don't know the number, but
Yeah, somewhere, about 1 million. And you started with 2 tickets on the platform. Now you were at least doing 1 million tickets. And we all know the story that you exited, and, it was a great story for us. Personally, did you feel you had accomplished what you set out to do with redBus?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what we wanted to set off, what we tried to accomplish with redBus is that people will go on to any website, and I'll tell you any website, right? See, what we are trying to do then was we said, hey, this offline thing is broken. We want to fix it, right? And that was the reason why we got into this thing, right? And that's very important. I'm emphasizing on that. We just wanted to solve the problem where if a customer wanted to see it, he gets all the information. If an agent wants to see it, he gets all the information, right? So that is what. So that is what we wanted to do. And how it helped us in the business is when we gave software to the bus operator, we didn't do any exclusivity. Because if we do exclusivity, let's say there are 2 companies, one will have some inventory, other will have some other inventory, which means the problem that we wanted to solve will not be solved. Are you all with me?
Yeah.
They will have this, we may be bigger, we may have 60% inventory, but 40% is there with somebody else. So the problem that we wanted to solve is not solved, right? Then after we started, like 2-3 years later, Makemytrip was a big website, airline, and they had some film stars doing advertisements, this, Air Deccan had just then started, low-cost airline started, so Makemytrip was really big. Then Makemytrip came to us and said, hey, we want to sell bus tickets now. Will you give us access to your inventory? Or if you don't give us, we will go and, we'll somehow get it, right? And that was a big dilemma for anybody, right? If you give them inventory, we were very small, right? If you give them inventory, you may just be a nameless backend supplier to Makemytrip because Makemytrip was a big brand, right? Nobody will even come to redBus. Why will they come to redBus? Because nobody even knows. Yeah. There are film stars there and etc. So the big question to us is, hey, will we just end up being a backend supplier, nameless backend supplier, etc. So we were thinking whether it's the right thing to give them inventory or not. But you know what guided us in that decision? The thing that guided us was the reason that we started, right? The reason was, hey, inventory should be accessible to everybody. So immediately we took a decision saying, Makemytrip will give you access. You sell, you take our inventory and sell. And they went live on Makemytrip. And when they went live, even today, I think they give discounts. I know even redBus might be giving discounts, but so they went live and they were giving discounts. That was another big thing. Oh my God, they're selling at lower price than us, and now to pakka we are not there, right? But all these points, for us, the answer was apparent because of the guidance that we got from the thing that we wanted to solve. And from that perspective, I think what we set out for is solved. We wanted to solve that. It is solved. It is not solved just in India, but redBus is available in Singapore. You can go to redbus.sg and book a bus ticket there to go from Singapore to Malaysia. You can book a redBus ticket in Malaysia, right? You can book in Indonesia. You can book in wow. You can go to you can go to many countries, and not just that. Actually, redBus just doesn't exist there. redBus is a market leader in many of these countries.
Yeah. So that's, redBus is global.
It's global. You go to South America, you can book a redBus bus ticket there.
That's amazing. That's amazing. So,
Maybe in future, Chennai to Singapore.
so if you were to do it all over again, would you do it? And what would you do differently if you started redBus today? Is something that I wanted to ask you.
See, I think if I were to do redBus again today or any business again today, one thing that I would do is like what Suresh had also asked earlier, that I mentioned about, you asked whether you are confident, right? And my answer was no. I didn't know whether it was working, not working, whether, etc. So there's always that fear, there's that doubt. So if I were to do redBus again or any other thing again, right, I would put that fear aside. I would just put that aside. It doesn't matter if it, I mean, I'll tell myself that it doesn't matter if it doesn't work. I'll just do it for the fun of it. I think we started for the fun of it because it was creative, it was solving a problem, there's a lot of energy, but somewhere down the line, right, while doing it, some kind of a fear crept in. Whether this is right, so many people, so much business. As the business got better, bigger, right, you're doing hundreds of crores, you don't want to lose it, etc. And then some things will happen. Government will come and say private buses are banned, that, this, or some CTO will leave, something will happen, and then day in and again, some kind of a fear creeps in into you. If I were to do it again, I would not let any one of these things to creep fear in me. I want to have the same enthusiasm, same creativity, same happiness that I had when I started the company, all through the company until the end. And I think that's just so joyful and nice to do. And I think that will lead to a much bigger success than any one of these things. Like, for example, we all struggle to do one company, right? If you do one unicorn, you are like a big achiever, right? Now, in our own lifetime, in the same time that we exist on Earth, right, there is this Elon Musk who's doing 4 or 5 companies, right?
Yeah.
And how is he able to do 4 or 5 companies? It's unprecedented. And 4 or 5 big humanity-changing companies, right? It's not like I have like one
Service business.
that, this, and etc., right? It is like humanity-changing businesses, and he's doing so many of those companies together. How can a person do so many companies when I was struggling to do one company? The only reason is that he has to be fearless, right? And that is very apparent when he even took panga with the world's most powerful person,
Yeah.
right? So that fearlessness is what is needed in an entrepreneur, right? The fear, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
The fear of not losing anything, absolutely, right? Yeah. See, I think it's a must. It's a must. And it is something that you can prepare from today, right? Practicing fearlessness, right? See, I feel we all stop. You know what stops us? Self-doubt. Think of something that you wanted to do but didn't do. What stopped you? Failure, fear of failure, inertia. What else? Procrastination. You're just comfortable, right? Preconceived notions. See, I think in one way or the other, what stops us is what is giving us a stress, right? So, let's say you want to set up a coffee shop chain like a Third Wave or a Starbucks, right? You start with the first coffee outlet, right? You start it, and then the employees are not coming, the toilet is not clean, customers are not coming, you're not making profit, this, that. All these things will happen when you start the first coffee shop, right? 3 months down the line, all this is happening. Then if these things are giving you stress, what will you do? You will never start the second coffee outlet or the third outlet or the 10th outlet. But there are people who start the same outlet at the same time, and the same things are happening in their life too. That employees are not coming, bathroom stinks, customers are not coming, this, that and all, but they go home and then sleep happily. They're like, okay, fine. Customers didn't come, they'll come tomorrow. Actually, all these big entrepreneurs, successful entrepreneurs, they're different in their mind. They're wired differently. They're crazy. Customer is not coming and they're not unhappy. I mean, they're not stressed. I'm telling you, yeah, delusional or whatever, they do not have this, their threshold of stress is very, very high. We get stressed at bathroom getting sting. They don't get stressed at that. That's why for them it's like, okay, fine, I'll solve this, I'll solve that, I'll solve that. And they're doing that. That's the capacity they have.
Yeah.
Amazing number of entrepreneurs I have seen, they're all like that. Right? They are there. Nothing stresses them. Things that stress me don't stress them. That's why they build that large companies.
That's very true.
So now you can practice that because I'm practicing it. Right?
True.
Something happens, right? I say, okay, fine. I don't want to stop here. I don't want to stop at that level. Right? Like for example, I came 6 o'clock. This has to start. Rain, some traffic, and etc. I came at 6:05. Right? Earlier me, I would get stressed. Shucks, how can I go late? I'm the speaker, that, this, that, that. I told myself, okay, fine, big deal. I don't want to get stressed, right? I'll go 10 minutes late, I get 20 minutes late. Everybody in front of me, I'll be shamed, it's okay, right? So it practice. If you practice it, tomorrow something else happens, you'll behave the same way. So I'm saying for you to be an entrepreneur, the first, and I would say probably the only thing that is needed is remember that what stresses you is what is stopping you.
Yeah.
Right? So increase the threshold of your stress. Don't let any of these things stress you. And it's a practice. You practice this, you will build that larger company. Right? One store stresses you, you'll always be a one store owner. You'll never start a Starbucks spanning all over the world in different countries.
Yeah.
Please take it as that, take it.
I think we should definitely quote funny on that. What stresses you is what stops you. This is something very similar to what we preach at Idea Patre and MudhalVC is entrepreneurship is all about building thick skin, and we say these two things. We say stay alive and stay at it. You will figure it out as you go,
And be happy. Don't just be alive.
Yeah, be happy.
Be happy, yeah.
So
I generally say optimize for happiness.
yeah. Yeah, life will be good. So this was great, and I think I have something more personal after redBus that I wanted to ask. Your work after redBus, the work that you do with the Kakatiya sandbox and your role as a CIO for the Telangana state. I think it's a phenomenal work that you've done. It's also, we need to congratulate the government of Telangana for giving such a role. Yeah. It's not very often that governments open up such roles and invite entrepreneurs to come and change and say, publicly say, hey, we're struggling, come help us out. And that, first we need to congratulate them and that. And then your work, you've built the Intinta Innovator, which is innovator at every home. I think that's a great name first. And you also made it so easy for rural children to access entrepreneurship. So two questions with that is that one, please do give us brief us about what was the work and what's going on right now. And a lot of entrepreneurs actually make it. They're very successful, and for the due credit, they get paid very well and all of that. But not everyone give back. So what's in it with Funny to give back? What's the personal motivation beyond to give back? You know what? I built my company. I'm happy. I did it all by myself. But then you come and say, now I want to give back to my country, my state, my people, and leave a larger legacy than building a brand. So what's in it for Funny to do this?
No, actually, again, that was not planned, but accidental, or may not be accidental, but that was not planned. So one of my board members in redBus, he's also from the same hometown as I am. And he's also an entrepreneur, successful entrepreneur, and etc. And he has this, he's always been giving back. He's always been participating in charities, like giving away, etc. and all that. And when we sold redBus, he asked me that he wanted to do something for people of Nizamabad, and he asked me if I wanted to join.
Okay.
At that point in time, like I didn't know like what to say. I just discussed with my family. My family said the first answer was no, because philanthropy, charity, and all that is what you do in like 60s, right? And especially my mom was like, I mean, she was also afraid that I may be thinking that I've now become very rich and this thing, and I'm like overconfident, right? So she's telling me, no, it's different. He is in his 60s, you are in your 30s. It's different. You don't get into this philanthropy, you don't get into this charity, you have so much more to do, things like that. She counseled. But then I felt like I have a great partner, and he's asking me to join, and I said, let's do it. So that's how we got into it. But it's been a very, very fulfilling journey. Right now, I'm a chairman of Education Trust, where we skill rural youth and get them a job. And we have about 95% placement rate. So
Wow.
anybody who gets
Amazing.
into the system gets a job. We have about 500 full-time staff.
Wow. Awesome.
Yeah, so things have scaled up well and doing well.
That's great. So your role as CIO. So for those who don't know, it's called the Chief Innovation Officer in Telangana, and he Funny had taken that role, and he had really I think you built an innovation portal where you brought in younger talent into the government departments and told them to solve real problems, like just go fix the system. I really want to just spend a little time before we open the floor, and let me know, how did you change the government? That's a big job. So
No, I think it is, like you said, a lot of credit also goes to the government.
Yeah.
So again, Telangana is a new state, so there's new ministers, new government. So there's a lot of zeal and energy, and they want to make Telangana
Big,
big, etc.
yeah.
and all that. And in that thing, so the minister that I worked with is KTR, who is like any one of us, right? I mean, well-educated, traveled, worked in the US and etc. So he came back and he had this futuristic plans. So he gave me a clean check. He gave me a lot of freedom. Not just that, actually, every opportunity that he got, right? He would just talk about me in in events.
Oh, really?
Right? He would say, funny as redBus has come in and he's now working for Telangana government, that and all. But what it did was it showed to people and the whole government machinery that he's endorsing me. Like I am his person and he believes in me and he wants me to make it happen, right? And then there has to be, like any district that I went to, any collector that I want to meet to, any education person, any staff of the government that I want to meet, like they would already like know that like
you're coming.
yeah, if I say something, they have to do it. So that was great. He gave me a great landing into the government, and he always supported whatever I wanted to do. So I think that was very, very beneficial.
That's
And also, I think you also have to reciprocate. I mean, with all that power and energy, all that thing, right? I mean, you can't misuse it. So I was also very kind of conservative.
So you were there for 2 years?
3 years. It was a
three-
3-year tenure.
three year-
Yeah.
three-year
3-year tenure, but I think personally I learnt a lot.
Okay.
Because what happens is, I mean, we grow up watching all these movies, right? In movies, like collector is portrayed like a big person.
Yeah.
A chief minister is portrayed like even a bigger person, right? I mean, the whole road is clean as chief minister, that is in the movies. So I had that thing, chief minister is like that, right? And I was working for KTR and his dad was the chief minister. They both live in the same house. So it was almost like working with the chief minister, right?
Yeah.
And after the 3 years, now it is all demystified to me. Like chief minister is like any other human being, like us, and then you can talk to them and you can get things done and things like that. So I think that is a great confidence builder. And in the course of that job, I also had to work with the central government. So that whole government machinery is kind of demystified to me. Now I don't like fear the government.
That's great. But a lot of credit to you to actually taking this up and doing. So that's great. Before I open the floor, like in cliche fireside chat, we have some rapid questions.
Oh my God.
and then we'll break. I think we've almost 90 minutes.
So we should go to the Q&A.
Yeah, so I'm sure they're waiting for us. But it's going to be like a fun set. So, are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay. So, first thing, so your first feeling when you sold the company on the day, you're like
Happy.
happy?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, what was the first big purchase after you sold?
I took my mom to London. That was the first big thing that I did.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's really sweet.
And I also bought a car for my mom and all those things. Yeah.
A real Tom Cruise, are you buying everything for your children, father, mother? Wow.
No, see, because what happened was all the newspapers would write great things about us.
Uh-huh.
And startup founder is taking only 20,000 rupees salary. So my mom had this big dichotomy saying that everybody says like 100 crores to 500 crores company, that is wrong, but when I come to Bangalore, you're still going on your bike. And so she could not just relate to it.
So
So-
my relatives think I sleep in a
Bed of money.
money is buried.
So, but when they come to your home now, it may not. But when my mom came to my house, she was like, "Hey, what is this? There's no this thing, right?" So
I mean, we have a funny story. So we had a very close relative. After one of our dad's videos went viral, and there was the headline was like some 1,000 crore company. She had come and opened the windows and drawers and to check where the money is. Where is it? And I was like, I have not seen it. I've not even seen 1 crore properly, but yeah. So I get it. Okay, so back to this. So have you ever screamed or cried seeing a big win in redBus?
No.
No? So what's your celebration like?
I mean, personal celebration. I mean, of course, in the company there are celebrations. People do all that. But personally, for me, it was normal, and I think it's a bad thing. Yeah, because I think I think you need that energy.
Yeah.
I mean, you need to recharge your batteries.
Yeah.
You should feel joyful
About
when
the few moments you get?
anything in life. The
Yeah.
more joyful you feel about things that you do, the more I think right mindset you will have.
Sure. Okay, which is worse, bad strategy or bad execution?
Oh my God.
It's rapid fire.
I
just
think
like-
bad strategy.
Bad strategy?
Yeah.
Okay. Which was better, higher tickets sold or newly onboarded bus operators?
High ticket sold.
Okay.
It was always high ticket sold. It was there with us.
Yeah.
Because we said if we fill somebody's bus, more bus operators will automatically. We didn't sell to the bus operators also.
Oh.
It came organically.
Wow.
Because we were filling somebody's bus,
Ah.
and they would all see, why is this bus going full? And the word would spread. So no selling to the bus operators also.
Oh, awesome. Happiest day during redBus journey? Happiest.
Like I said, I was not.
You
the
didn't
guy.
celebrate
Yeah,
enough.
it was just going on.
Okay. So, one book that changed your life and one that you would recommend to an entrepreneur?
I mean, before starting redBus, I mean, I like the Ayn Rand books, right? I mean, Atlas Shrugged was like my. I just feel energy reading it. I just feel joy reading it.
Okay.
So that is before redBus. During redBus, like one of the things that I liked was crucial conversations.
Okay.
Like how do you talk and etc. I mean, there's a book called Crucial Conversations. I really love that book
Okay.
during redBus.
So, something that you'd recommend?
Yeah, but also I think it has to. The problem has to. You have to go through that pain point because there are several good books. I mean, something that you can relate to. I was relating to that, and hence it was a great book to me
Okay.
at that time. Yeah.
Nice. Favorite
But
on.
Atlas Shrugged, I think maybe people should read.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Fountainhead. Yeah.
Favorite entrepreneur?
See, I like. I used to. One of the conference rooms we named as JRD room because JRD Tata, because again the same thing. Like I was struggling to run one company and he ran so many companies parallelly and etc. It was like country. It moved the needle for the country and etc. and all. But now now I think I like people who are fearless. I like Krish of ChargeBee. I really like him. Right? I mean, yeah, I like
Krish. That's great. Good to know.
Yeah.
So, your favorite brand of India right now that you say They're doing a good job, like something like that.
I love Lenskart.
You love Lenskart?
Their customer.
Yeah.
They use Kislo actually.
Oh, yeah. They're your customer. Correct.
Yeah. So,
But I just invested in a startup which is going to compete with Lenskart. But because I also think that Lenskart needs a competitor, or customer needs choice.
Yeah, that's true.
So I invested in a company. All of you should try out free marketing for them.
What's the name? You
It's
can
called El Uno.
El Uno.
ELUNO.
ELUNO. El Uno.
In fact, they're just setting up their process, so they're giving huge discount on their website. It's a premium eyewear. Please give it a try.
Sure, done. So, best advice you've ever got in your career?
I think to be authentic.
To be authentic. Okay. So, we're going to go for lighter questions. Favorite movie? Are you a movie person?
I'm a movie person. I mean, I love DDLJ.
DDLJ.
Yeah.
I think it's still playing, right? In one theater.
I don't know.
Yeah, for the last
I hope
30
so.
years or something. Yeah. Okay, favorite hero then?
Not so.
No much? No one? Okay. Okay, idli or dosa?
Dosa.
Dosa? Okay, Bangalore sambar or Chennai sambar?
Bangalore.
I know it's a controversial question.
Yeah.
But so, favorite thing about Bangalore that you had?
I think the trees there.
Trees.
Yeah. I just love it.
Okay. Favorite thing about Chennai?
I think the cleanliness here.
Cleanliness.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's just, I mean, it just,
He thinks that Chennai is dirty.
no. It just stands out to me. I mean, even today, right? I just love it. Even today, I was just.
Yeah. This is something that Chennai people will not know. Oh, we're clean. Oh,
But you
wonderful.
come to Bangalore, Hyderabad.
Nice. But yeah, the biggest people who crib about Chennai are Chennai only. Okay. What do you miss most about running redBus?
I think pouring out your creativity. I don't have the opportunity
Opportunity
to
to
pour out
do it,
that.
yeah? So when's the last time you took a ticket in redBus? Recently? Anytime? Or
It's been some time.
Yeah?
Less than a year maybe.
Less than a year?
Yeah, less than a year.
Okay.
I travel by bus.
Oh, nice. Okay. What are Indian founders, according to you, missing to build global brands?
I think it's evolution. I mean, it is going to happen, but I think it's a mindset change.
Hmm?
It's a mindset change. I think one or two successes and then it will just take off.
Sure.
It's just that, see, I think know-how, playbooks, one or two people who do it, it'll just happen. And it should happen.
Okay. So, your relationship with your family and children, what do you tell them? What does your children feel? What do they do? Like, if you could spend a minute.
Yeah, I mean, they are in 7th and 6th grade.
Uh-huh.
So I keep telling my wife that, my wife keeps telling me, oh, you know, so-and-so guy is playing tennis and this drums and this and that, and our children are not doing anything and etc. I tell her that it should be like that, because I've seen enough people who've gone to IIT and now are fearful, because all their life they have trained themselves saying, I have to get this, I have to get this good marks, I have to be in attention mode before exam, I have to prepare, I have to just do this, etc., etc. They've lost joy in their life, right? And what you need to be successful, not just an entrepreneur, to be successful in life, even if you're in a company, right? How will you get promotion, that is not, is when you have that joy, when you're creative, when you feel you can do anything, right? If you are put through that rigorous system and you play tennis and come back and do drums and then do math and then do this and Olympiad, that, this and etc., you've lost your joy. And your life becomes only that I have to crack these things. So I don't want my children to be like that.
Sure.
And I want my children to just enjoy, but still be rigorous. Whatever, like my son likes drums, I say, okay, just do drums and do it so well, right? Daughter likes crocheting and she's crocheting like so many things. I'm saying, okay, fine. Because I think when she is joyful, that is when she will give back to the society, to her family. You should be a giver. When you're fearful, you're a taker. You protect everything. And I've seen many entrepreneurs have a CGP of 6, CGP of 7, and they want to become very successful because they feel like I can do it, and etc. So I think it's very, very deep there. I want my children to be like that. I want them to be fearless,
Sure.
and I want every one of us to be fearless.
Sure. Your thoughts on AI? I mean, that's the
Great.
elephant in the room.
Yeah.
So, are you tracking it? What are you looking at?
Yeah, I mean, I don't have an expert opinion on it, but
Sure.
I think it's great. One example is, see, when YouTube started, like a few years ago, in our life only YouTube has started, or once Geo came in, right? So much YouTube and Instagram and all this was happening. So many people are consuming it, so such big market created, and now once that market is created, so many businesses are coming out of it.
Yeah.
So many consumer businesses are just built because
YouTube
they have a YouTube channel or things like that. It's large businesses are built like that, and anything that gets widely adopted creates so much opportunity for everybody. I mean, AI is like that.
Yeah.
Right? Everybody is using it in their lives, so it is going to create a lot of opportunities. It's
Sure. So the last question, I mean, is that you're a investor right now. So what is it that you look at today when you are talking to a founder? If a founder, let's say someone wants to pitch you here, please don't, guys. Let's. But later, if you want to pitch, what do you see in a founder when you want to invest in them?
Yeah. So I've invested in several companies. The companies which made the most for me, there are 3 levels of my outcomes, right? I mean, one is like you get a 100x and can get a 1000x. 1000x, if you can get in one startup, you don't have to do anything in your life. You don't have to do your startup also, right? Which means you invest like 1 crore, you get 1,000 crores. And what else do you need in life, right? So there are 3 stages of success in my portfolio. I have a 100x, but people are investing in that company, hoping that they'll get a 10x from there, which means I hope I get a 1000x. Yeah. So, yeah. But yeah. So, but the entrepreneurs who will get you a 1000x are the entrepreneurs who, again, I am repeating, who are fearless, whose threshold of stress is there. They don't get stressed by any of these things, right? Those are the people. If I see that person, right, I don't know a right way to evaluate, but if there is a way for me, I have some hypothesis on how to evaluate it, but if such a person is there, I would just invest. Because this company which is giving me 100x, you know what that founder pitched? That founder said, "Mujhe bada company banana hai." And he was like saying it from
The heart.
heart. And the business that he had was something else versus what he is doing now. And he's the one. People who have that, and then, right, who have that fearlessness are the people who will build such companies. So that is one level. If I see that, I don't need anything. I don't know what they're doing and etc. Then the second level, people who give me like maybe 20x, 30x and etc. are the people who are salesy, right? I made tons of money by just investing in people who can sell. Like these are people, they're like redBus early days, right? They'll have a crappy product, but they already have sales. They already have customers. They're in 4th month of their business. They already have a paying customer, right? They front-end sales. They sell before they even have a product. And such people also give you, I mean, I'm not saying they'll give you only 30x. They can also give you 100x, 1000x and etc. But they can give you 1000x only when such people also become fearless, right? But they give you a large sum. Even 50x is a great amount, right? You put in 1 crore, you get 50 crores back, right? And that category of the people are the people who sell. They sell in their 4th month. They always sell. They sell, right? Then the first category, people who at least who give me some and also can become a 1000x later, are the people who have a product market fit, in the sense that they're doing something that people need, right? They're not, and where you lose money is they're building something where nobody needs it, right? They think it's a good idea, but nobody is using it, nobody needs it. That is where you lose all the money. So my criteria is, first thing is, hey, are they building something that people need? Second thing is, can they sell? Are they showing me that they can sell, right? And the third thing is, if they're fearless, then though it is like a large company that they're building. They'll build a large company. So these are the 3 things that I look for.
Sure. I think I mean, that was
As
great.
of now.
Yeah.
But it's always evolving. Like if it asked me 5 years ago, I would have given you some other answer. Hopefully it's getting better.
Sure. I think with that, I would wrap up our fireside. I think it was absolutely phenomenal, isn't it, guys?
Thank
I
you.
think it was a great session. I personally learned a lot, and it's always nice to talk to entrepreneurs. So I think we'll open the floor. We have about 100 people. Let's see how many we can bring in. And
Keep
can
the questions to the point.
yeah. Can we
Don't make a
get
statement.
1 second? Can we have the mic? The mic's there. Okay.
Somebody, my question is like
Sure.
you are talking about creativity, which is like pattern among the founders. So how you define it and how you keep yourself creative, like how you train yourself to be creative?
I don't have an answer for it, but for me, I think I think through first principles, right? And then the solution that comes out of it is often creative. Like for example, like I said, I advise some VCs, right? So one of the VCs I was talking to, I'm in their board. So I'm talking to them and then I said, what is the problem? Like, what is your problem, right? Like then fundamentally define what their problem is. Then they said, hey, we don't get good deal flow, right? Then we just sat and said, okay, fine, how do we get a deal flow, right? How do other VCs get a deal flow? They do XYZ and they get a deal flow. So if you say, hey, ABC VC got it this way, XYZ VC got it this way, so you do it that way, then that's not creative because you're just saying what others do, just do it, right? But you just go to the first principles and say, hey, he has to get people to apply. What should I do, right? Just start with that basic thing I start with, and then you come up with some ideas. So one of the ideas we came up with is, why can't VC put a hoarding, right? And talk about something. I mean, why can't VCs advertise? We have never seen a VC run a campaign, right?
Yeah.
A TV campaign or a LinkedIn campaign or this or that, right? Why can't they do it? And when they do it and win, that becomes creative. People say, oh my God, I never thought of this idea. This idea is great. So I'm saying first principles thinking can lead to creative solutions. So just leave everything that is there in your mind, start from basic and say, hey, this is a problem. I think creativity starts with defining the problem statement accurately. In our case, the problem statement was bus operator wants his seats to be sold. He doesn't want software, he doesn't want anything. So the thing is, how do I get him seats, right? When I don't have inventory. You just think through the first principles, then you know, okay, instead of book, I'll put a request. So things like that.
Sure. Next, yeah, go ahead.
Funny, mine is the last.
Okay, go ahead.
Couple of questions. The first thing is like you've gone through 3 stages of your startup. Starting from customer validation to product market fit and scale. So what is your focus on each of these stages?
Yeah, so those are the focuses. The first thing is, hey, is there a product market fit? You have a product to serve it, whether people really this thing, right? At that point, you're only focusing on that. Then after that, you're focusing only on scaling. How do you get to scale? Then after that, you are focusing, which I missed, is being fearless. I was fearful, and I think that's the reason I sold. When somebody said, hey, I'll give you so much money, do you want to sell? I said, oh, I'll give away all my headache to you.
Alright, because that's the last question which I had because on one of these conversations you said like you never wanted to let one of your team members go, which means
Yeah.
like you're a person who definitely doesn't want to let your company go. So what is the reason behind you selling the company? Because you didn't want to even lose one of your team members. The company is so much closer to you than that.
No. I didn't want to lose a team member while I was running the company because if I lose let's say I lose the tech guy, then I lose 9 months, no? Get another tech guy, and then the guy ramps up and etc. and all. So I didn't want to lose that pace. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes, sure.
Hi, my name is Sheikh. I'm Saf from. My question is, you were talking about your belief in PLG, the product that you grow. I also come from that school of thought. In and then they're on steroids. So how did you keep up the thing? And what's your overall take on this ongoing debate between PLG and MLG?
See, I think it has to be
When
context.
you're building a global
Correct.
product,
I would say it has to be context driven. See, just because it worked for us, it shouldn't be prescribed to everybody, because you may be in a different context. Your competitors are really taking away market share from you, and you need to fight that. So all these things, you have to take it with a pinch of salt. Like we didn't spend any marketing dollars, but if Flipkart founder also said, oh, I won't spend any marketing dollars, there would not be, right? Or Ola founder said, I won't give any discounts, then they would not have market share. So it is very context dependent. You have to take, like it's like you have to go and pitch in shorts, or you have to go in suit, right? You have both the successes, but then you figure out what is,
You stick to it all through your.
we stuck to it all through. I mean, we did, like we didn't do big ads and etc. and all, but if somebody comes and searches, then we would have a search related ad there, but not otherwise, yeah.
Sure. Thank you. Yeah.
I will. If someone have the courage and the creativity to create something better than third wave coffee and bigger than Starbucks, would you dare to reciprocate your courage and creativity with them?
Yeah.
It sounds like a pitch, man.
No, definitely. But that courage should be from deep within. Like I said, every cell of the body should reflect that, and they should really believe in it. Definitely. Why do you think third wave cannot be disrupted? If at all it cannot be disrupted, why does third wave exist? Because they disrupted
Starbucks.
somebody, right? Yeah. So there will be somebody else who will disrupt them. But that somebody else, if he has the courage, then yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hi, Nikki here.
Yeah.
So when did you figure out that it's time to scale redBus, and how was the playbook like going from city to city? Because it's more of like a network effect product, right? You need consumers and the bus operator all in the same city. If one of them misses, right, the demand and the supply falls down. How do you maintain that?
Yeah. No, actually for us it was a little organic hack. See, we started in Bangalore. Then how we chose the second city is, we said, where are most of our customers going? Most of them were going to Hyderabad. Oh. So which meant we already had some customers in Hyderabad, right, who went from Bangalore to Hyderabad.
They have to come back, right?
Yeah, come back or etc. And also the second city that we started was Hyderabad and not Delhi. Because if you start in Delhi, nobody knows redBus, and how will you start, right? So we grew like that. So first was Bangalore, then Hyderabad, then people from both Bangalore and Hyderabad coming to Chennai. So we started in Chennai, then Hyderabad and Bangalore were going to Pune. So we started in Pune, then Mumbai to Mumbai, then from there to Gujarat, then there to Delhi. So that's how we grew.
I thought Bangalore to Coimbatore would have been the biggest traffic.
No. During that time, no. Coimbatore was so small then. And imagine 2005, Coimbatore was so small. We used to go and talk to ABT Travels.
Yeah.
So we know a lot of traditional family.
Parveen Travels and
Parveen and KPN and SRM.
So what was the playbook like? If you go into a city, what will you actually do?
Yeah, so what we did was, for us during that time, there was no internet on phone, there was no internet at home. So people would buy tickets only from their office. So we would stand in front of the World Trade Center and distribute pamphlets, because that's where we had the customers.
So that was your GTM.
That's the GTM. I mean, also not much. I mean, initial days we did that, but after that it's the word of mouth, the convenience that really helped. Yeah.
Hi, buddy. redBus for a long time, almost for 10, 15 years, you were selling only bus tickets. Why you didn't diversify during this?
Yeah. So it goes back to the same thing that I mentioned, that we were driven by that philosophy, saying that what is the reason, why are we doing what we are doing? The reason that we are doing what we are doing is because we said, hey, inventory has to be seamlessly available to everybody. Which inventory? The bus industry, the bus inventory. And that solved all these dilemmas for us. So one fine day our board came and said, hey, you should start airline tickets, because a bus ticket is 500 rupees. On that 10% is 50 rupees. Airline ticket is 5,000 rupees. On that 10% is 500 rupees. They said you make 10 times more money and you don't have to have any expense, because it's the same website that books the ticket, right? But at that point in time, the way we took that decision is we said, hey, it's great business. Let's just see uh, if we have like, if we have 10% extra bandwidth in the company, our whole objective was to solve the bus ticketing. If the bus ticketing problem is solved and we have 10% extra bandwidth, then we will do airline ticket. It was more philosophical than business. Business-wise, that was a great decision, but philosophy-wise, we said, hey, we exist to solve this problem. If we have 10% extra bandwidth, let's just put it back in, right? So that really gives us a lot of clarity. That's what they say is spirituality, right? I mean, spirituality tells you why you exist, what you want to do, your aim, target, and etc. For us, it was very clearly defined. We let go a lot of businesses, we let go a lot of other things, and we just stuck to bus ticketing, and that really helped us, right?
I think you have got good VCs to trust on this.
Yeah, it's self-selection. So you have to let go a lot of other VCs, and then you'll come across a VC who likes what you're doing.
That is my question. Do you need a VC if your business is doing good?
Again, it is context dependent. If there are no competitors and the business is growing, then don't need a VC. But if capital can help you outcompete, then you need a VC. So it is very, there is none of these things are prescription. Like there's an example, if it applies to your context, you have to use it. If it doesn't, then you have to leave it.
Hello.
Sorry?
Yeah, they bring a lot of help, but that is also available now. Like you take angel money from the right people, all those connections come, or even if you don't have, right? I mean, today, like you can go and talk to anybody and they'll help you if you're a fellow entrepreneur, right? And they won't just say, oh, I didn't invest, so I won't help you. They will help you.
Hello, sir.
This is a time of vertical SaaS companies over horizontal companies.
Sorry?
Do you think it's a time of vertical businesses?
Can you
Sorry. Do you think this is a time of vertical companies like what redBus did for the entire bus industry? Or let's say the horizontal SaaS companies that, especially after AI, where the depth of the context matters in the tools that you build?
No, I don't know about SaaS. I know about consumer business. Consumer business is mostly about expertise, right? I mean, you buy a brand. You buy that because you feel they're an expert in that, right? So when they build that expertise, then you go there. I mean, you won't eat any idli given a choice, right? You'll eat only that particular idli. So consumer businesses are usually like that. I mean, brand driven and etc. and all.
Yes.
When you retrospect, what you could have done better, and then how your competitor knows about you on the first day.
How my competitors?
How your competitor got a clue about what you're doing on the day one. And the second question is, when you retrospect now, what you could have done better in redBus?
No, what I could have done better is, can anybody guess? Yeah, I would be less fearful because I already gave that answer and I really internalized that answer. So if I do again a company, I just want to be fearless. I don't want to hold it close to my heart because that's where my courage will come, that's where my confidence, that's where my energy and capacity to build a large company will come. So that is something that I will consciously do. Yeah.
The competitor, how they got to know about you?
See, I think in the market they will know, na? I mean, I have a crazy story, but right. I mean, actually, our first competitor joined us as an employee, right? And then today he doesn't exist. It was a crazy story. He came and joined and he worked for 3 days. Then after that he said, my sister's married, so 15 days. Those days it was roaming. He said, I'll be in roaming, so don't call me, otherwise I'll have to pay money. So 15 days I didn't call. And I think 7th, 8th day I was with SRS Travels in Bangalore. He calls at midnight, 1 a.m. So we're going there, standing there at 1 a.m. And then the owner is talking to somebody. And then when he saw us, he said, hey, come, meet your competitor. And I went and saw it. It is that guy who was like working with us for 3 days. Right? And then he just vanished. We came and discussed that with the mentors. Mentor said, hey, such people can never build. So don't even think that he will outbeat you, he'll outcompete you and all. And he never built.
Hi sir, this is Sasi here. What are the qualities that think make you successful as an entrepreneur?
See, I think I will give the same answer how many ever times you ask, whatever way you ask. And the answer is, I think, being happy.
I just want to
And it can be, actually there is a research. You can go and read this Project Energy, I think. There is this project called Project Energy. They went and did research on several people, especially about Olympic athletes. They went and spoke to all these Olympic stars and etc. and all. And they asked them, like, they are at peak performance, right? What is, and all of us, they have a word called ideal peak state, IPS, ideal peak state or something like that. So they were researching on, like, how come some people perform at the greatest levels of humankind, which are Olympic athletes or any big guys, successful artists, painters, entrepreneurs, that is and all, right? So the thing they realized is they top on four. I mean, human beings have 4 energies, it seems. I don't want to make it like a theoretical thing. You go and read it about it. There are 4 types of energies. One is what energy?
Yes.
Huh? What energy? Huh? Physical energy. You have to sit there and do that job, right? Second thing is mental energy. You need to think analytically and etc. and all. What is the third one? Emotional energy. And what is the fourth one?
Spiritual.
Spiritual. I think you guys read that. So these are the 4 things, and I think it is very true. So they figured out that I mean, physical though all of us qualify because we eat well, we are not starved, and etc. and all. Physical we are good, mental we are good because all of us would have gone to some good colleges, cracked some entrance exams, that this and all. Where we lack is the other 2. Where we lack is emotional energy. Where we lack is spiritual energy. Spiritual energy also most of us. Maybe we have figured out, we want to be an entrepreneur, we want to build this solution, we want to, that spiritual, that target, aim and etc. is done. Where we seriously lack is emotional energy. And emotional energy is, what is emotional energy? Is being happy, being fearless, right? So we have to make it a practice. And these people, when they spoke to these Olympic athletes, they said, they asked them, what is the state of your mind when you are like getting into that competition? You know the answer they gave? The answer is they are happy, right? They used all these different words. They said they feel optimistic, they feel confident, they feel
Happy.
This thing. All these means happiness. Happiness is when you feel confident, content, optimistic and etc. and all. So I think we just have to practice happiness. That's why when Aravind asked me, like, what did you celebrate? What are the happy moments? And I don't have an answer. And that was my problem, right? Today, if I were to do redBus again, I would celebrate each one of that. I'll celebrate coming here by 6:08 or 6:05, right? Those things. And that is the research that said, these Olympic guys, these best of humankind, right? They cheat themselves. They're happy with every small thing.
I also
Right?
read somewhere on this note, people like Steve Jobs, great ones, they don't celebrate the small wins. They think, okay, they have a long way to go. This is like.
But I think if they celebrated those small wins, there would have been much more. Like Steve Jobs is not Elon Musk. Steve Jobs ran only 2 companies together, right? He ran Apple and he ran Pixar.
Next
Right?
also.
He could have probably done 5 companies.
Yeah.
So I don't know the solution, but I strongly believe that, and it's also true. See, coming here, I'm happy, I'm talking, and that's why my energy is coming out. Coming here, if I'm fearful, saying ki, "Arey, I've been an entrepreneur 15 years ago, I don't know what I'll talk, what will be useful," I won't even utter a word. I'll be looking at watch, where do I go, when will Aravind send me out, right? So you just cheat yourself, you be happy, you feel like you have achieved something, then everything will come out of you. So please, these Olympic guys have done it that way, we all have to do it that way. The crazy entrepreneurs, like somebody said, have a defect in their mind that they're always happy, confident, optimistic. They always feel they will build the largest, like Bhavesh of Ola felt like he will build the largest 2-wheeler scooter factory in the world. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, Bajaj, heroes of the world have been doing it forever and they have not reached anywhere. You want to build bigger company than them without having any experience. They're like that. So you want to build such a big company, you have to be crazy that way and you have to get that state.
Hello, Vivek from
One second.
redBus Association. So, almost 25 years experience in family business on redBus. Brand name சொல்லல ஏனா சொன்னா நீங்க chat ஹைலைட் பண்ணா கூட விட்டுருவீங்க. I don't know whether you can understand. Aravind கடைசி explain
No, I can understand. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Slightly.
Oh, I'm a translator.
நான் தமிழ்ல தான் கேக்குறேன்.
Okay.
2011 நான் பார்த்துருக்கேன், டிக்கெட் பூஸ் வெக்கேட் பண்ணி போகிறாங்க. அப்போ நீங்கள் பிக்லாக வந்து என்ன கேட்குறாங்கன்னா, அந்த தீபாவளி சீசன் நான் நோட் பண்ணேன், 3 சீட்டு கொடுங்க, வித்துட்டு பேலன்ஸாக மார்னிங் உங்களுக்கு கமிஷன் போக, அதாவது 300 rupees எங்கள் பஸ்ஸோட டிக்கெட்டு 330 rupees உங்கள் சேட்டில் ஹைலைட் பண்ணி மார்னிங் அதான் நைட் சேவ் பண்ணிட்டு மார்னிங் 30 rupees அந்த 90 rupees இது கமிஷன் போக பேலன்ஸ் 900 எங்களுக்கு வந்து ஹேண்ட் ஓவர் பண்ணிடுவாங்க. இப்படி இருந்த ரெட்பஸோட டிஎன் என்ட்ரி வந்து ஒரு 1 year அண்டமான் போயிட்டு ரிட்டர்ன் நான் வரேன். பார்த்தா நாங்கள் எங்கள் ரிலேட்டிவ் 3 பேர் ஊருக்கு போகிறாங்க. எங்கள் பஸ் ஆப்ரேட்டிங்லாம் வந்து ஃப்ரம் சவுத், சென்னை டு சவுத் தான். எங்களுக்கு ரிலேட்டிவ் 3 பேர் போகிறாங்க. 3 சீட்டை விட்டு நீங்கள் பேலன்ஸை போடுவீங்கிற கேட்குற அளவுக்கு மாறி கமிஷன் வந்து ஒரு 10%ங்கிறது 12, 13, 15, 18 வரை அந்த மாதிரி போய் அதுக்கப்புறம் சாட் லைவ் பண்ணுறதுக்கு ஒரு பஸ்ஸுக்கு 1000 அந்த மாதிரி ஏறி நாங்களும் கடுமையாக உங்களுக்கு எதிராக நிறையா போராட்டங்கள் நிறையா பண்ணியாச்சு. அப்படின்னு இருந்தாலும் போராட்டம் பண்ணுற எங்களோட பஸ்ஸே உங்கள் ஆப்பில் தான் சேட் பண்ணுற மாதிரி இன்னைக்கு இண்டஸ்ட்ரி மொத்தமாக உங்கள்கிட்ட ஹேண்ட் ஓவர் பண்ணிட்டோம். ஸோ இது போக எப்படின்னா எனக்கு வந்து இந்த பிரச்சனை இப்போ எப்படி இருக்குன்னா, ஜஸ்ட் இந்த மீட்டிங் வர்றதுக்கு ஒரு 1/2 hour முன்னாடி கால் பண்ணி என் மாமா கிட்ட பேசுகிறேன். அவர் ரொம்ப பார்த்து ஆளுநர் அசோசியேஷனில் நான் அந்த மாதிரி ரெட்பஸ் ஃபவுண்டரை பார்க்க போகிறேன், என்ன உங்கள் சைடு ஏதாவது கொஸ்டின் இருக்கான்னு நான் கேட்டேன். ஆங்கிலேயருக்கு கப்பம் கட்டுறது மாதிரி இருக்குது, ரெட்பஸ் கூட நாங்கள் இன்னைக்கு ட்ராவல் பண்ணுறது அப்படிங்கிறாங்க. ஸோ இந்த பிரச்சனை இதில் மட்டும் இல்லை, ஓலா ஊபர் ஃப்ரம் டிரைவர்ஸ் அண்ட் கார் ஓனராக இருக்கட்டும், ஜொமேட்டோ, ஸ்விக்கி, ஹோட்டல் ஓனர்ஸ், ஏன்னா கன்சியூமர் ஹோட்டல் ஓனர்ஸ் நடுவில் ஒரு ப்ரோக்ரஸ் பிளாட்ஃபார்ம். ஸோ இது ரொம்ப ஒரு இஷ்யூவாக போயிட்டு இருக்கோம்னு நான் நினைக்கிறேன். இது இந்த ஒரு டிபேட் பற்றி யாராவது சொல்கிறதா சொல்லுங்கள், மெயினாக எங்களுக்கும் சொல்லுங்க.
Okay. I mean, he said a lot of things. Okay. He's basically asking these marketplaces, even though they're very supportive and they've done a lot for the consumer end, the bus operators right now are struggling with respect to commissions and the way that their inventory is now fully controlled by these platforms. So your comments on that and how the industry has changed.
So one of the things.
So he's an omnibus owner.
I got that. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, sure. So I don't know how it is right now, but when we were running redBus, we said we do not want the bus operator to fear us, right? Because if the bus operator fears us, they won't allow us to grow, right? They won't allow us to have 90% market share, right? So what we did is we set 10% commission, and as long as I ran the company, from day 1 to my last day at redBus, we stuck to 10%. It is only going to be 10%. Yeah, because that gives them confidence. Many times the bus operators thought, until then the market was, whichever operator gives more commission to the agent would sell their seats. So many bus operators had people in bribing our call center executives to find out to get their seats sold more. Like if you want a seat, you call the call center. That's when you can influence, right? I think that strong belief that will work. Like I just could not think why it would not work, right? So when you have that kind of a belief in your idea, you will just automatically shift. It won't let you sleep. There's no reason why it will not work. And I think you should start only when you have that kind of a confidence. Many times we all start because I want to be an entrepreneur. I think this is a good idea, and that is a disaster for failure.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for that.
I'll tell you another thing. Actually, there's a gentleman called Desh Deshpande, right? He's a very successful entrepreneur, serial entrepreneur. He's done many unicorns, and some of the unicorns he's bootstrapped himself. At some point in time, he was the richest Indian on earth, right? So I work closely with him in the charity side of things. So I always wondered, like for us to do one unicorn or one startup, it's so difficult, right? How is that? Like everything he touched became gold, right? Everything he touched became a unicorn, right? I always wondered, like how does that happen, right? I was an accidental entrepreneur, and I think it is trial and error for you to get to a good product market fit, right? And then I came across somebody who interacted with Desh when he was doing startups and all. It seems, and I got this great insight, it seems Desh would not, when he thinks of an idea, the first thing he will do is take a phone and a pen or a paper, call up 100 people who will be potential customers, one by one, and ask them if this product is useful. He's not building the product. He's not hiring people. He's not thinking of what name he should give to the idea or company and anything. Nothing. He's just calling those 100 people to figure out if this idea works. And when he gets a thumping answer from those 100 people saying, hey, it's crazy, I want to buy it, I want to use it, that's when he goes and builds it. And that's why he's so successful. Every startup that he starts is a unicorn, right? And decacorn. So I think it's a great lesson in that, right? So when you want to start up, we'll all have idea books, right? I mean, we all have a book which has 20 ideas, 100 ideas in it. So I would say the same thing to you. Before you think of anything, leaving your job, anything, right? Pick up the first idea, call 100 people. It's not easy because you don't know their phone numbers, you don't know where they are, you don't know what questions to ask. But if you can do that, then you are building a unicorn. Well, out of your 20 ideas, there is one idea which is great, but you don't know which one of those. So you call these 2,000 people, right? 20 into 100, and then you will know which idea it is. And when you know that idea, you won't work because it won't let you sleep. It'll feel like so obvious, like you should just do it. And don't do it without that.
Absolutely. Thank
Please
you so
do it
much
with
for
that.
that.
Achna, why don't, yeah, go ahead.
Archana here, doing organic farming. So, I see that you didn't have people to look up to and learn from, right? So, you were a newbie, and how did you make sure your team was also able to learn and set up with the game when you were scaling as fast as?
It was awkward. It was terrible. My team would say things to me. Say, I have emails even now which I preserved, right? Where people call me fool, right? They said, you like this, that, and etc. All my team members gave all the things, right? Because we were all of the same age. None of us knew anything. We all, yeah. So, and that is when I think your ego should be low. You are the founder, you are the CEO, you are the owner. That guy is an employee. How can he come and challenge you? How can he call you names? If you go on that track, then you lose everything. If you can accommodate that guy's gali, let that guy say whatever he wants to say, then you will think about it, whether it's right or wrong, or you will admit that you are as bad as them. You don't know anything. They don't know anything. That is when I think I still have those emails. I preserve. In fact, now once in a while I get messages from all those people saying, I'm now, because they've become entrepreneurs now, right? They sent me a message saying, oh man, like I can now understand like what kind of a situation you are in, because I'm going through the same thing and etc. and all. So I think things will, I think you should be patient. You should be, at any point in time, you should have that authenticity and confidence that you are doing the right thing for everyone. It could be the wrong thing in that moment. It could be your inability, but it cannot be your oversmarts. That I'll cheat this guy, I'll do that thing, I will get him to do something. You should genuinely feel like, okay, he's doing the right thing. I think that.
Right. And just to add on to that, how did your energy differ with the people who joined you? I think the founders great because you go around doing it, but how did you pass on your team?
You let them scream, shout, insult you, do whatever, right? They're feeling energized. So, you're letting them see. I think this is. So, I told myself that this is probably. See, how can I retain them? I can retain them if they get something here which they don't get anywhere else. And what is that? It's not the money, because I can't pay the money. It is being themselves. Allowing them to be themselves and more. Let them be creative. Let them do whatever they want to do. It is very difficult. It is crazy. But if you can do that, if you can, actually, because J.R.D. Tata was my biggest inspiration, and I had a room named after him. We had only one conference room, and we named it J.R.D. room. Inside that, I put a frame. I put his quote, and this was his quote. He said, "If I have done anything in my life, it is." I'm not using the same words, but what it meant is, I always wondered, how could he build all these companies, right? And then he almost, as if speaking to me, giving my answer, right? There was a quote of him, which I framed and put it in my room. He said, if I have done anything in my life, it is to let people be what they are. And he further added saying that it comes at a cost of you going down in front of them. And that is the cost you pay for them to be themselves. And that is my mantra to build all these companies and this success. And that was like a thing that I wanted to live by, and I framed it, put it in my office, and etc.
Great. So I think the last question, yeah.
We're talking about emotional energy, right? I mean, there are 100 things that happen every day to actually destroy that. How do you kind of reboot that and bring yourself back to the normal space and then start being a normal person?
Yeah. So I've been doing meditation, and it's very, very useful. You can spare 20 minutes, then 20 minutes in a day, it can change your life. Recently, Anish of Capillary has introduced me to something called TWIM meditation, which is again Buddha's teachings and etc. TWIM meditation, and I think it's TWIM stands for Tranquil Wisdom Insight Meditation, M for meditation. And I think that meditation is really helpful to just switch instantly into that positive frame of mind. I used to wonder if am I cheating myself by doing those? I'm really not happy, but I'm like putting myself in that mindset. But when I read about this project energy, and when I read about these people who are super performers at the edge of humanity, I realized that all of them do the same thing. All of them do the same thing. You read about the best. I mean, of late, my biggest thing is to just read about these people who are the best of humankind, right? A best sports person, a best artist, best this thing, best that thing. You read their story, you watch their interviews. They always are showing this pattern, right? They say their secret mantra is this tennis player, right? I mean, plays, and just they have these micro seconds in that break. The difference between a world champion and the next person is this world champion, in the 10 seconds break that they have, in the 10 seconds, what are they thinking in that break? If they think that they're going to win it, if they think that they're happy, they're optimistic, then they're going to be the world champion. The other guy is the same skilled, but the difference is this, how they recharge. That 10 seconds, it's written in that project, this thing, you read about it. When you read about it, and then you realize, damn, every great person is doing this. And if I want to be great, I have to do that. If I want to tell myself, no, I want to be just like myself, I don't want to cheat myself, then okay, fine. You can be like that, but you can't be that, right? Because you have to recharge your energy. You sleep, next day you recharge. You lift a weight, you rest, only then your muscle grows. It's the nature. When you're stressed, you have to know a quick way to recharge. I think, please work on this emotional thing. If you can work on this emotional thing, you will still be a billionaire, even if you don't start a startup. I mean, if that is any measure. Because you look at, why would, of all the people on earth, of all the Stanford guys, Harvard guys, anybody on earth, right? Why would Bill Gates or Microsoft choose Satya Nadella, who didn't go to IIT, who didn't go to IIM, who went to Manipal College, right? That is later, right? But such a person to be the third CEO ever of Microsoft. And today he's a billionaire, right? Much richer than any entrepreneur, right? Why? I think it's because of this. How he recharges his energy. He believes in impermanence, right? Impermanence is what? Some bad thing happens, you think that is not going to be permanent, which means recharging your energy. You read about these successful people, now you don't have to do a startup. You will be very happy in whatever you're doing. You will be very successful. Many CEOs earn thousands of crores as salaries a year, right? I mean, you can buy off 5 companies a year, right? So, if you have to take one thing away from this, what is that one thing?
Fearlessness.
Yeah, and it's a habit. Practice it every opportunity and every day in your life. the first change that you'll see is in your family itself. You will find that you are more generous with your kids. You're more generous with your wife or husband. You'll see that first, because not all of you are running companies. You practice fearlessness. Today is what date? 10th of September. 10th of October, you just reflect on it, how your family has changed. Suddenly you will feel they're all loving you more, you're loving them more. Suddenly home feels like home. So you'll see that difference, and then it will come into you, you'll do it in your company. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I think that was a great session. Thank you so much, Phanindra. It was wonderful.